Whaling is one of the more well-known as well as controversial foodways practices of the Northwest Coast. It's something that's been practiced in the area for thousands of years and is now being practiced again. Um, I've never had whale myself. Don't imagine that I ever will, although I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to it depending on how it was harvested. Um, but it's definitely something that was it was a big part not only of this culture, but it was a big part of Western and global culture as well. During the 1800s, whale oil was what fueled the lamps of many a great writer back in England and statesman. So it's a very important resource. And so let's talk about how it was practiced here in the Northwest by Native peoples. Uh, Native whaling is an example of the complex nature of Native cultures. Whaling had a prestigious role in society. It was associated with wealth because those who were actually able to go and capture whales, the people who did it were the ones who took the lion's share of the wealth, although it was shared relatively equal among the families, but not completely. Whaling culture can be seen in this picture that was taken by, this engraving that was made by the Cook expedition in 1778. This is on Vancouver Island. And one of the things that you can see that I've highlighted here is a whale saddle effigy that was an element of worship that they used to worship the whale. You can see a similar effigy here that was removed from the Ozette dig that shows sea otter teeth that are embedded in this wooden carving of a whale's dorsal area. This is a famous picture by Edward Curtis in 1915 called The Whaler that is of a native man who's preparing to go out on a whale hunt. He has a large harpoon as well as floats that are made out of skins. These are the implements that allow him to, with his team, capture a whale in open water. I like to think of the Northwest Coast whaling men as the billionaire badasses of their times. They were high-tech, wealthy, and very not averse to risk. These guys had to practice pretty intense seamanship. A whaling vessel was found during the times that Western sailing ships were plying these waters, almost 40 miles out to sea. And I've shown this on the map. It's actually quite far out. Whaling also brought wealth with it, and with that wealth comes status symbols such as dentalia. Whaling declined in the late 1800s as Europeans decimated whale populations, and the last macaw hunt was in 1928, prior to modern times. Now whaling is revived and keeps going in and out of courts, but it's something that local peoples are trying to practice to bring back their foodways.